Good afternoon. I wanted to give you an introduction to the HTML5 boilerplate build script. The build script is the result of a lot of work of the HTML5 boilerplate development community with the goal of making it really easy for you to absorb a lot of performance knowledge of things that you're supposed to be doing every single time, like minifying your JavaScript, for instance. That and many other things, and making it really easy to just make that happen with your project. If you've read books like High Performance Websites or even Faster Websites by Steve Souders, you've seen this kind of stuff, seen these best practices, and you might be doing them each time, but the build script gives you a way of automating that in a really nice, clean way so that you are working in kind of your development environment, and when you're ready to make publish and deploy out your site for a staging or production server, you can do that and run it through the build script to make all these optimizations that should happen on the way out. So I'm going to give you an overview of what it actually does and why it's useful, show you how to get started with it. We're going to create a brand new site with HTML5 boilerplate and see exactly what it does. And then we're going to take the build script and apply it to a real existing site, a really cool one. I'm going to show you a nice pro tip for a source control, deployment, build script optimization, fantasticism. It's going to be great. Well, that's about it. At the end, we should be able to see that this is going to save you a lot of time and give you huge improvements on things like your Y slow and your page speed numbers, so that your boss is going to be really pleased with how goddamn fast this website is loading now. So, you into it? Good. These are some of the things that the build script helps you out with. Concatenation and minification of your JavaScript. You've heard it's a good thing. It's really easy to do here. Same thing with your CSS. Optimization of your images. Now, this one actually doesn't get as much attention as it should, and like JavaScript minification gets a little bit more attention. I think this is, in a way, quite silly. You can get enormous savings, like 50% of your site. The weight of it can be dropped instantly when you optimize your images. There's a lot of wasted space just waiting for you to recover that. So we tackle that there. We can remove any development-only code like stray console.logs that are hanging out. In the build script, we do some basic HTML minification, just really light, kind of removing comments and things like that. But we can also go full throttle and do like total all white spaces gone minification. Looks totally fine in the browser, but in view source, you'll be like, whoa. Let's see, we do some more things where we revise the file names of all the assets. We do this for a really interesting thing. So you've probably seen this. So here is the HTML5 boilerplate, the index.html. And inside of it, we're referencing the style sheet. We have style.css question mark v equals 2. So we have a page on the docs to cover this. So this is cache busting, and we're using query parameters to cache bust. The reason why is because HTML5 boilerplate ships with an Apache configuration file, the htaccess, and that says all CSS files, all JavaScript files will have a default expires. They will be cached for, I think it's 1 or 2 months. Now that's cool and that's really good, and that means that it's not going to request it from your web server every single time. But if you make a change to one of those files, you probably want your users to get those. And so by upping this number to like 3 or 4 or just some long number, you're going to make sure that that asset is re-requested every time, or each time it changes, each time you change this, to make sure that a fresh copy goes in and they're not getting a stale copy. The problem, however, is that there are some proxies, like squid proxies. So these are proxies kind of almost at the ISP level, and it just doesn't even cache this at all. And that's bad because it means that when a user requests something, it needs to go all the way back to your web server, and there's no computers in the middle that can actually hold on to it and serve it to them, which means inevitably it's going to take a longer time to get that file. The solution is to actually just rev the file name. So instead of, we can just put, change the file name itself, and it doesn't not go in the query parameter. So this is essentially the technique that we use in the build script. Now that we have revved file names, we can actually update the htaccess, and instead of 1 month or something, we're just going to say whatever, a year. Like, these files are not changing because we have control over our deployment, and every time we deploy, we have new file names, so all these files can be cached for a year. Now that we change the file names, we have to go back into the HTML and make sure that the HTML is referencing the new files, so we do that. If you're referencing an unminified jQuery or something like that, we're going to make sure that you reference the minified version, and then we're just going to kind of clean up, do any other optimizations that we can. So the kind of impact that that has at the end is a pretty significant one. We've seen, the whole page weight of a site drop 50% based on using this build script in conjunction with the web server configurations, now of which we have support for 6 different web servers, in addition to Apache, a few others. So we kind of got you covered there. I'm really excited about that. So let's see, getting started with the build script. The build script just lives in the build folder. Here we go. I'm just going to open up the boilerplate folder. And here it is. It's right in the build folder. And build.xml is kind of where it all happens. We'll get into that in a sec. If you're on Mac or Linux, you already have pretty much everything that you need, though you might need to install Optiping and JPEG-Tran, and there's instructions on the docs page for how exactly to do that. If you're on Windows, it might take a little bit more work. What we're using for the build script is Apache Ant, which is a build tool, and it uses Java. And we chose this because instead of something on PHP or Python or Ruby, because we wanted something that was as cross-platform friendly as possible. On Windows, you need to have Java installed, either the JRE or the JDK, and then you want to get WinAnt installed. After that, you're pretty good. I will point out we create a nice little batch file for you. If you're on Windows and you're kind of scared of opening up command prompt, you just want something to double click on, that's totally fine, So we made a little batch file for you to do your double click and get outputted the same thing that you would get from the command prompt. But for now, we're gonna get our hands dirty with a little bit of command prompt terminal console action. What's up? Woo. Okay. First, I wanna just show this thing to you guys. We're gonna create a new project. Here, I'm in a checkout of the HTML5 boilerplate. I mean, this is my development version, but I could have just did a clone of the GitHub repository. Or I could have just downloaded it because I have everything in here. I'm going to go into the build folder, and first, before I use the build script, I'm going to use our create project shell script. Here we go. I'm just going to create project. It's asking me for a new name, and I'm going to call it build script demo. Cool. What it just did is it just made a brand new folder. Here we go, called build script demo, and just kind of pooped out all the files from the other thing. So I can just kind of use this to create a brand new version really quickly with all the files I need. So I'm going to open this up to edit in TextMate. Oops. Build script demo. There we go. So this is just the base HTML5 boilerplate, and we're going to make this into a website, I guess. Hello nurse. Any Maniac fans in the house? All right. Let's see how this looks. Great. Okay. Let's make this for real. Font size 100 pixels. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think this is a legit website in my opinion, right here. Okay, cool. So good, we got a website, and now we want to, you know, I'm ready. I've already bought the domain. I'm ready to put this online. But right now I'm looking at things. The HTML is pretty messy. There's comments everywhere. The JavaScript, it's all, yeah. So it could use some minification. We should definitely run this through the build script. So let's do that. I'm gonna go into the build folder, and the way that we do this is we call ant, and that's it. The default target of ant is called build, which means I can specify or I cannot, and does the same thing. So I'm gonna just do it. Okay, it's doing a few things here. Shouldn't take too long. Oh, okay, it's done. Took 15 seconds. Let's just go over quickly what it did. Remember when I was talking about revising the file names? We gotta kick that off. We gotta start somewhere, so we're starting at 1. Cleaning off any previous builds. Copying over our new files. We're upgrading our expires headers. Killing off those v=2 things. Removing a fav icon reference if it's in the root. It says in the HTML comments that you should do that, but if you forgot, cool, because we're going to take care of that here. We're going to minify all of our JavaScript and concatenate it. We're going to strip out console.logs. We're going to minify and concat our CSS. We're going to clean up any HTML stuff that we can clean up. Do a little bit of HTML minification too, and then optimize any images that we have. That's about it. We have a few images. I think these Apple Touch icons are pings, so those actually get squeezed down. Other than that, there's no images in the site clearly. So what this does when this finishes is it creates a publish folder. And I'm going to go into the publish folder, and it looks pretty similar, but it's missing a few things. It's missing the build folder. It's missing a README. You know, it's missing anything else that doesn't really belong when you publish a website. And let's open this up. Wow, website looks the same. That's good. I'm going to view source. I'm going to view source. There's the old one. I'm going to kind of toggle between these. You see we removed all the HTML comments. And then you notice in here our file names are now versioned. And when I click into the CSS, it's completely minified. Here's our one style that we added. Our H1 font size 100. It's in there. But other than that, we're looking good. Here's our published version, and so I'm ready to put this online. I think this is going to be a real popular website. Okay, so that's kind of, that's it. We just go into the build folder, we run ant. The defaults are all pretty solid, and then it just spits it out into publish, and then we have a optimized website, which you can FTP it up to anywhere they want. But what I want to show now is we're going to edit an existing website, because I got this site, and I mean it's pretty cool. It's a mother effing HSL. It's for color picking. Yeah. Okay. It's a good site, but if I look at the source, again, this unminified stuff. This is trash. This cannot be. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix this. So let's take care of this. Here is the source for motherfnhsl.com. You'll notice it looks like a boilerplate site, but it actually used an older version. And one of the changes that we made for 1.0 is that the images folder is now image, IMG. But this site still has the old one. This is not a problem. The build script can be configured quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this happen. All right. I'm going to steal this build folder from our HTML5 boilerplate and copy it over into HSL. Cool. So we got our latest build stuff, our latest build script, all the tools that's necessary. It's in there. Cool. We're going to go in here. This is a checkout, so it's telling me that our build folder is new to it. That's good. Now, mother effing HSL. All right. One of the things that the way that the build script is structured, it allows for a lot of different configuration. So the configuration of everything is defined inside this config default properties file. And so here you kind of see where are all the folders and what are their names. And then there's more stuff. What HTML files do we want to operate on? What files are not going to be published into the deployment, the production version, and then some more settings and stuff. Now, if you need to modify one of these things, like you usually download the HTML5 boilerplate, but you change around the folder structure a little bit, it's totally fine. Just open up project.properties, and this is where you can make your own changes. It's in a separate file in case we make an update to the core, and we can just give you, a brand new default.properties and a new build.xml, which is where all the logic is. And your overrides hanging out over in project.properties will be totally fine. So definitely, if you're making configuration changes, make them over here. So I actually need to make this change. This images folder is not a default. So down here we have some overrides available. Oh. So dir.images is actually images, not image. So cool. So this is going to override this guy right here. Cool. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to go into the build folder and build it, I guess. See how that goes. Looks like it's doing all the right things. 8 seconds. Woo. Okay. I'm going to open up whatever's in publish. Looks correct. View source. All the HTML comments are gone. It's a good sign. We're referencing our new minified style, our minified scripts. This is good. This is good. I'm going to turn this up just a notch. Instead of a standard build, I'm going to do a minified build. It's for the hardcore. So the only difference here is that it does all the exact same things, but it also minifies the HTML pretty aggressively. So now, if I refresh, it looks the same, but the source is quite abbreviated, which you might be into. It certainly saves quite a bit. So this is pretty good. I'm feeling happy about this. Now, right now would probably be a good time to just take this publish folder and just FTP it up to my website, where because I'm fine. I have a brand new optimized version, but we're gonna do something a little bit cooler, because taking this, open up my FTP client and dragging it in and doing that every single time I make an update. Oh, it's a lot of work. If only there was an easier way. So we're actually going to use GitHub for this. This site, Mother Effing HSL, is hosted at GitHub right here. And we're going to use GitHub to, we're going to pull down the repo on the server and do some tricks. So let's see. What we have to do now is we have to make sure that GitHub has everything that we have locally. So it doesn't yet. I need to add in all of build, git status, cool. We got a build tool. Yes. Git push. Yes. Aha. Good. Refresh. We got a build tool. Now, if I go over to mother effing HSL, yep, this is a little older one. This is not my minified one. No good. So over here, let's see. I am going to SSH into my box, my host account. Okay. See that? Okay. So here I am, and I'm looking at what's in the mother effing HSL root. So it's the files that I was dealing with. Now I'm actually going to do a checkout of the repo. So let me clear out what's in here first. rmrf git rm git ignore rm access. Oop. Okay. Okay. Sorry. It's cleared. Let's refresh the website. Okay. Hope no one's using it. Now I'm just gonna pull this repo onto my server. I'll grab this one. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. Git clone. Yeah. Now it just pulls down the whole folder. There's the folder, and there's the site. It's in a subfolder. That's no good. And it's still the unoptimized one. See, this is just no good. Now, the cool thing here though is that we have the build folder because we added it to the repo, right? And the build folder, or the build script, one of our goals was to make it a cross-platform thing. So we're on a Linux box here, but we can make this work. So if I'm just in build and I run ant, great. And so now we have the publish folder here. Just go into this real quick. Publish cat index. Yep, there it is. Unified, beautiful. Okay, now what do we want to do? At this point, the problem is that what we really want is way deep down in here inside publish. This is our minified production ready amazingness, right? But I want that to show up way down there. So here's the little trick I like. So where is it? Over on the docs, this is the build script docs. Right down here is some magic stuff. So we're gonna drop this in to the domain's root, nano htaccess. There we go. We are mother effing HSL. HSL, right? Is that it? Yeah, that's the name of the folder. Mother effing HSL. Mother effing. So what this is actually doing is it just says, hey, any requests that come in, just pretend like this folder is the root of the domain. And we're just gonna like shoot everything over to the publish folder. I'm gonna save this out. Boom. How's that looking? That looks about right. Now if I go back to my domain, I'm gonna just load up the root. Hey, there it is. Refresh. Yes. View source. Yes. Yes. I like it. So I'm a whoa. Didn't want to do that. I'm gonna bring up Fox real quick to show what this actually means. What does it mean? Okay, here's our old one. This is before I got a trip through the build script. Here's our new one, and we kind of want to see this in action. So old dot yes. I'm gonna load up YSlow. Yeah, it's not too bad. Old gets an 80. Doesn't have expires headers. It doesn't have gzip going on. Old is lacking the htaccess, of course. These two work really well in concert. Or if I try page speed, 78 out of 100. Ooh. So what was that? 80 and 78 for YSlow page speed. If I run those on the brand new one that has the htaccess going on, and it just went through a minified full run deluxe build script action, we got a YSlow of 94. Grade A. I'm not using a CDN, sorry. And these two Google sites, Google, man, should send them a letter. They don't have expires headers. And then, but on page speed, yeah, 96. Oh my, 96. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Oh man, that's so sweet. So the cool thing here is that from here on out, this is a Git repo, right? And I can easily just update this whenever I want. Here's a little quick snippet to pull down whatever is brand new. So we can just pull down the brand new stuff, build it out, and then publish that whenever we got publish it out, so that your site, you have full control and you're all working from the exact same source control repo. But at the heart of it, the build script is a nice way for you to save time with the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. But now there's really no excuse because it's all just kind of baked in, waiting for you. So I definitely recommend to dig into it, and you'll be pleased. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.